This week on Steel Horse Thunder.
The ST series, Road Glide ST, Street Glide ST, Low Rider ST. All of them, all those bikes are influenced by the Bagger Racing League. So the idea here is we're going to put longer rear shocks on them. We're going to get those front ends tuned a little bit stiffer. Going to give that bike really nice lean angle. And of course, we're going to punch them out to the 117 cubic inch motor, right? In this package, that motor with 125 pounds of torque, gosh, you've got a bullet, dude. You've got a bullet.
Bill, you got to tell me a little bit about this machine here. I know you don't go, you don't do anything small, do you?
Oh, sure. I can't. It's like I'm cursed with this domino effect. I fix this, and then I got to do this, and this, and this, and it keeps going until they're done.
All right, start off with the motor. How big is that motor?
Well, that's a 131 stroker. That's pretty big.
Oh yeah, it'll do 60 miles an hour.
Oh, real quick.
Steel Horse is brought to you by Leidendorf Law, with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.
Hey, big shout out to Crambo's out in Greencastle. Man, if you're looking for paint work, mechanical work, or accessories, they have everything you need out in Greencastle. It's Crambo's. You know what they say, they'll get you noticed. All right, man, I am checking out the brand new Low Rider. I think it's a Low Rider ST. We'll find out later what the ST stands for. If you remember the Low Riders like I remember the Low Riders, you'd never believe you were looking at a Low Rider right now. This is totally different. Obviously, there's no more Dynas with the Harley Davidson. Dynas are gone. So this is a soft tail model of the Low Rider. It's completely different. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, this fairing, it's just a totally different look on this bike than the old Low Riders. If you remember the Dynas, you had your Low Riders, your wide glides, and your super glides, and so yeah, this is totally different. I'm looking forward to riding it.
Service, line 1. Service, line 1.
And if you need service work, come to Southside Harley Davidson. No, it's totally different looking.
What's different about it?
I'm old school, so to see a big fairing, a stable, stationary fairing on a Low Rider, that seems a little odd to me. You know, to see the saddlebags on the back, I mean, it's just a very strange. I'm thinking a Low Rider is the old stripped down kind of Dyna, what I always call the hot rods, the Harley Davidson, were the Dynas. And so yeah, this looks completely different, much sportier, everything else. So we'll take it out for a ride, see how we like it. All right, center controls. These bikes now, you don't have to downshift in order to take off. You know, you're running third gear, fourth gear, you just twist the throttle and go, man. I'm just so used to always having to downshift once or twice. And right there, man, that was third gear, idled way down, twisted the throttle, and took right off. Definitely has a different look. Does not look like your old school Low Rider by any means. Really nice bike though. Handles really nice. You know, you do have a stationary fairing, so more like a road glide type style fairing. Different things like that obviously takes some getting used to. I think this would be awesome. Put a little taller bars on there, some taller handlebars. Forward controls. It's got all the power you'll ever want.
What'd you think?
All right. All I can tell you is you may not say doesn't look like the old school low rider, but man, I'm telling you what, this thing is an absolute beast. It is a beast. It handles well. It's fast. It's you know, there's none of that downshifting to take off. I mean, third gear, low idle, and just hit the throttle, and boom, you're on your way. It is a whole new beast right here, and I'll tell you what, you'll have some old school people say, well, and that's all right, because that's old school people are usually just old grouchy people. So that's just the way it goes. But man, I'll tell you what, it is a machine right there, a machine. All right, Mike, first of all, let me say thank you to Southside Harley Davidson here in Indianapolis for letting me take this thing out. This is it is the Low Rider ST.
Correct.
Okay, I got to be honest. I would never know that was a low rider. When I walk up to it, the last bike I'm thinking in my mind is low rider. It's obviously changed a bunch, and I mean, obviously it's a Softail now instead of a Dyna for one.
Correct.
But it's totally different bike. Tell me a little bit about this one.
Okay, so the ST series, Road Glide ST, Street Glide ST, Low Rider ST. All those bikes are influenced by the Bagger Racing League. So the idea here is we're going to put longer rear shocks on them. We're going to get those front ends tuned a little bit stiffer. Going to give that bike really nice lean angle. And of course, we're going to punch them out to the 117 cubic inch motor, right? In this package, that motor with 125 pounds of torque, gosh, you've got a bullet, dude. You've got a bullet. You've got a situation where you can be third gear 25-ish miles an hour up to 85 miles an hour, never having to shift. It's got so much pull. And the reason the seat is stepped up is because it pushes you back in the seat. I mean, it's just incredible.
I agree 100%, especially with that analogy, because I was in third gear at a very low idle, and I was up to about 60 like that, no downshifting. I'm not used to that. You know, I ride an old motorcycle, and if you're going to take off, you better be downshifting, you know what I mean? And hell, I even came to a stop, and I was in second gear instead of first, and I still took right off from the stoplight in second gear. I was like, how? What the hell?
Yeah, plenty of pull, plenty of torque. And, you know, you're talking about a bike roughly 100-ish pounds lighter than the big touring bikes, that 117 motor, fabulous brake system, fabulous suspension. In my opinion, and I mean, I've had a lot of people test ride it, simply the nicest riding Softail. I mean, that rear suspension is so compliant. And, you know, I've gotten spoiled because I own a Pan America, and to have a Softail that rides so nice. And it's really, really impressive, right? It's really impressive.
Well, you know, that is the truth. And I did notice the reason that seat goes up high in the back is for that reason, to keep you from sliding off the back, because it's an absolute monster. And it's just totally different. Like I said, now there's going to be old school guys that aren't, you know, wow, you know, and that's just the way some people are. But I mean, my gosh, this is, I just, and I knew you told me what to expect, and I still expected it, and it still exceeded my expectations. So that's what I can say about the bike.
Yeah, this whole West Coast bagger, this West Coast inspired styling where you put the handlebars up on risers, we're seeing that all over the Midwest now, man. The West Coast has been doing it a while. That fairing, really, for no bigger than it is, does a nice job of keeping you out of the elements, out of the wind, and still gives that bike that real fresh, real aggressive look, reminiscent of the old FXRs. I mean, it's supposed to, and it does, with a real modern engine, you know, really, really modern package. So it's really something, man.
And
it's really something.
You commented on it, the fact that this is about 100 pounds lighter or whatever than some of your bigger tour bikes or whatever. And you notice that, but what you do notice is it does have some weight to it. You know what I'm saying? When you get on it, it's not a real light bike. And you get on it, it's got some weight to it, so you can feel it underneath you. And when I say that, I mean weight in a good way. The weight that helps you
stable
corner, and the way it helps you just sit better. It's just, it's that kind of weight that gives you, to me, it gives me a little sense of security. You know what I'm saying?
We've seen so many people buying Street Glides and Road Glides the last several years. Really, really popular bike. Street Glides the #1 seller by far. This is going to give that guy that maybe isn't ready for the full-on touring experience something that is quite capable. I mean, gosh, it's standard with cruise control, great braking system, detachable luggage that holds, it's not huge, but it holds plenty. Like I said, he's not ready to step into touring bike family, but doesn't want to not have something that can get him down the road. It's really, really popular so far. Kind of, we talked before, we were talking about the Nightster. This is one of those bikes that Harley won't let us put on the floor for ourselves. And again, the store made this conscious decision not to sell the only one they sent us. Use it as some way for people to order the bike so they can come and test ride it. We encourage that. Any of these bikes that you can't readily lay your hands on, we put them in the demo fleet. Take advantage of it, man. If you're curious at all, even if it's for next year or whatever, later this year, give it a shot. You're not going to know unless you take them out. You're not going to know.
Exactly. Back in the day, you weren't allowed to. You didn't get to test ride a motorcycle. Correct. I bought my Road King brand new back in 2000. So 22 years ago, bought that Road King brand new. Never even sat on one before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I take it back. I had sat on one in the showroom. That was it. Never rode it, never handled it, never got out on the road with it. Right. Fortunately for me, it was perfect. I'm still riding it 22 years later with 170,000 miles on it. The mid controls is awkward for me. Yeah, so go forward controls, sure. And I like the riser. I might even rise it even a little bit more. Right. I'm just saying, and that's the beautiful thing about motorcycles. You customize them to what fits you, right. And it's just, that's what I love about them. And this bike here, there's not much not to love.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's fantastic. And the nature of this new motor from Harley, this Milwaukee 8 motor allows you to make some upgrades that are just unbelievable for making power. The Stage 4 kit with the 131, making 140 some horse, making 150 almost pounds of torque, and the bike only weighs 700 and some pounds. I mean, good Lord. We're seeing guys do it. We're seeing guys just doing, like you said, maybe tweaking those bars even a little higher. We got some suspension upgrades now from a couple of different vendors we can do. It's just incredible. Yeah. Just an incredible ride.
Yeah. Well, man, I appreciate you letting me do that, take this thing out. It's always a pleasure to come up here to Southside Harley Davidson. You guys always treat us good, and you always let us take these things out. And I just want to encourage you, if you're looking to ride some of these bikes, man, come up here to Southside Harley Davidson and let them know what you're looking at. It's, like you said, you encourage people to come up here and do it. Yeah. Old guys like me didn't get to do that when we were buying motorcycles years ago. It's really cool that you can do that kind of stuff now. So, Mike, thank you so much. I'll let you get back to work, and thank you for letting me have some fun.
Not a problem, Scott. Anytime, bud.
Hey, man, Leidendorf Law, personal injury lawyer. I tell you, Leidendorf Law has been a part of this show, a major part of this show, for 20 years. Thank you so much, Leidendorf Law, for what you've done for Steel Horse Thunder and all the riders. Hey guys, you remember many years ago, some 8 years ago, we introduced you to this POW motorcycle. Last year I had the privilege of riding this as we escorted the traveling wall from Greenwood down to Franklin. And my buddy Bill has been building this thing forever. Well, he's got a new project going on now. So while we were here in Franklin, I had to stop by. Actually, what happened, Bill, was we were driving down the road and it was just this bright light, just bright, shiny object. And it turned out to be your motorcycle. Bill, you got to tell me a little bit about this machine here. I know you don't go, you don't do anything small, do you?
Oh, sure. I can't. It's like I'm cursed with this domino effect. Yeah. I fix this, and then I got to do this, and this, and this, and it keeps going until they're done.
All right, start off with the motor. How big is that motor?
That's a 131 stroker. That's pretty big.
Oh yeah, it'll do 60 miles an hour.
Oh, real quick. Yep. I just had that seat done. Wicked Cactus, right here in Franklin. And a guy did a beautiful job, and he's right here in Franklin.
Wicked Cactus leather.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What about the paint? I mean, this is okay. First of all, what made you decide to go? Because I was joking about the bright light, but it is absolutely beautiful.
Yep. You need sunglasses to look at it.
Yeah, you do.
We got it painted in Shelbyville, and the guy that did the pinstriping He's from Kentucky, and they're both online. I mean, they both got their advertisements and stuff, but this is neon orange, and I don't remember the guy's name in Florida, but wife does.
Yeah, we don't care about the guy in Florida.
No, guy in Kentucky, I'm wrong.
Even worse, we definitely don't care about the ones in Kentucky.
Okay,
I'm kidding. Love Kentucky.
but this bike is like, the only things on this bike that are used is the frame and I think the handlebars, but I customized everything else. Everything on the bike is new except those two parts.
Yeah.
But everything else is brand new.
Now, I know last year I got a chance to come out and ride your POW bike, and it's such an honor, such an honor. And I'll be honest, dude, I've been riding motorcycles since I was old enough to pull the rope out to start the mini bike up. To I've never really been intimidated by motorcycles because I grew up with them. I about wet my pants the first time I rode that POW bike. Dude, that is a lot of motorcycle.
That's only a 127.
Yeah.
I want you to ride this one.
Yeah. Well, I will. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind. I wear an adult's large Depends, and I will put 2 of them puppies on to make sure I keep the seat nice and dry.
Put 2 of them on. Yeah.
But you double wrap it just to be safe. No, I'm just in all seriousness. I was intimidated by the POW bike. That's a lot of bike. It's a lot of motorcycle.
When I first tried.
And it's heavy. It's not just so super fast, but it's a heavy bike and everything else. I can't wait. So what's the ETA? When do you think you're going to have this thing done? Where I'm going to be riding
It's
it?
going to be done in about a month.
Is that
And then I got to finish this one here.
That's for another episode.
Yep.
All right. So sometime this summer, then I'm going to get to take this thing out on the road.
Yep. I'll give you a call and tell you it's time.
No, I appreciate it because you've given me some updates. And then when I found out we were going to be in Franklin, I was like, well, hey, I just got an update, on this bike about a month or so ago. And I was like, I want to get out there and take a look at it. What makes you keep wanting to keep building these things?
Oh, I've been building bikes since I was 13. I'm 77, and I ain't slowing down anytime soon. Doctors told me I can't ride. That's why I have you do my riding.
Right.
And they can't tell me to quit building.
They could, but are you really going to stop building?
No.
No, of course not. No, and right now, I mean, you've got a nice sized garage now, and which is a good thing because now you can't just build one; you have to build 2 at a time.
I have a lot of room in here until I start putting everything in.
Well, I just know the POW bike was built in a very small 1-car garage, very, very, very tight quarters, and now to see what you have now and the bikes that you're doing, what's your plans for this bike here?
Oh, somebody's probably going to buy it.
Yeah.
They're all for sale. I mean, if you got the money, you can buy them because I can haggle and negotiate.
Yeah.
Anybody, but better bring a pretty good piece of change with you because they're not cheap.
No.
I don't build cheap bikes. I don't believe in building something that's mediocre and then try to sell it for 5-star rating. That's not right.